Hi friends, it's Kristen and Loki's here. Hey, Loki Pokey. Um, so for today's video, I'm going to go over the makeup I tried in October. Um, yeah, I don't know what I had a thought, but it left. So yeah, this is all the new to me makeup I tried in October. I don't always get the most new and newest releases all the time. Sometimes I get it later on down the line. Sometimes I discover things that I didn't think I wanted in the first place. And so, not all, actually, quite a few of this is fairly new things, at least palette wise. So, I'm excited about that. All right, let's do palettes first. I usually don't do like any particular thing first, but the palettes were kind of grouped together. So, all right, first up we have this palette from Colored Rain. This is the Safari Rain palette. I got this in a big bundle that they did for September. Got this palette and a bunch of other things. It's a very beautiful fall-like palette. Um, I used it just the once so far and I enjoyed it. I really do enjoy their shadows. They're a nice indie brand that I think is pretty underrated. So yeah, I like that. Then next up, I love this. This is the Wicked Widow Graveyard Smash. We got it in our Ice Cream Beauty box. I've used it a few times. Did it get ready with me using everything in the Ice Cream Beauty box. It's a really pretty color story. Love it very much. I'm really excited to have gotten that. And then we have this little palette from Ofra. It's one of their signature palettes. It's Getaway is the name. This is a very neutral palette. I just used it once. It was okay. I'm gonna keep it in my arsenal and maybe reach for it some more. I really like the middle shade. It was really pretty. And you can use it as a highlighter too. So, I'm not really a neutral girl, but I like to have that option. So, then next up we have the two Halloween palettes from Odin's Eye and Angelica Nyquist. We have the Little Ghost palette and we have the Trick or Treat palette. And I did videos using both, doing 2 looks with both, and I love them very much. Odin's Eye never disappoints. Like, I might not be in love with every color story Odin's Eye does, but formula wise, I'm never sad. And then I got this Uma Beauty Black Magic Carnival palette. Very pretty. Very fun. I enjoyed the looks I made with it. Next up, we got this mini mix palette from Ofra. I got this and that other palette in a, what is it called? Lucky Scoop. So this is what it looks like. You get 2 blushes, like a highlighter that has a bunch of different shades, and then eyeshadows. I think I used at least one of the blushes. I don't remember if I used both or just one. I like it. It's nice. The shadows aren't really, my color story. It's not terribly different from this little palette. Very neutral. This one leans more brown. I think there's a little bit of orange gold in the other one. I think it'd be really nice for travel. You get 2 blushes. You can do a lot with those highlighters. So I will keep it. I feel like I may depot like the highlighter and the blushes. I might even have these blushes. Oh man, I didn't even think to check if I had the blushes in the blush palette. Well, we'll see. All right. And then next up, this also is not only a new palette to me, but a new brand. It's an indie brand called Rebel Rouge Labs Creatures of Forever palette. I really enjoyed it. This is, like I said, the first time trying their formula, and I really like it. I really like the color story. I really like the looks, the formula. I'm really happy to have tried it. I would definitely suggest them, and I did do a video using that palette, my first impressions. Next up, we have the Spook palette from Gourmand Girls. This has been on my wish list since it came out last year, so I was happy to get it. I made a very pretty look with it. I used this shade, the shimmer shade here. It looks very orange on camera, but it's like an orange pink in real life. It was beautiful, and it lasted really well. I will say upon application, there was quite a bit of fallout, so I definitely, and that's the only shimmer I use, so I can't really speak to the other ones. So, but I would suggest doing your eyes first if you're gonna use that shadow, especially because there was quite a bit of a fallout, but it was upon application. It didn't really seem to fall out throughout the day. If you guys are wondering about my bright lip, this is in my project pan. It is very bright. Actually, let's pull it out because the first time I used it, it's this one from Melt Cosmetics in B Movie. And I was thinking, oh, it won't be quite as bright, right? Like, it'll be toned down. No, it is super bright, but I am committed to trying it 4 times. So today will be number 2. Because I know you guys won't judge me, at least out loud, too harshly. As far as formula-wise, it's pretty good. It's not super drying. It's a little bit. I mean, it is a matte liquid lip. You expect a little bit of drying, but it is pretty comfortable. Yeah, just the color is not for me, but I was gonna give it a go. I don't like the doe foot. It's very big and hard to control and hard for me to apply without making a huge mess because I have small lips. So it's just very easy to get a lot of product, and I don't need a lot of product for my tiny ass lips. So, but as far as formula goes, okay, or actually pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with the formula. Just that doe foot is just a little much for my little lips. Next up, we have this cream shadow from Sydney Grace. It's really pretty. Cream shadows are not usually my go-to, but I decided to give it a try. It lasted pretty well, stayed pretty well, so I'm happy with it. I got it in a mystery bag, so I probably still wouldn't like necessarily go out and buy cream shadows just because they're not my favorite, but it's not bad. Let's go with this Color Rain bronzer. This came in that bundle, and as far as formula goes, I don't think it's bad. It's just a little too warm leaning for me. It came across a little too orange on my skin, which happens a lot. So I am going to declutter this, and hopefully it will find a better home with somebody that's not so sickly pale looking. Next up, let's see. Let's grab all of these 4. So let's see, a couple, maybe a month or 2 ago, Rare Beauty released a little set. You can find, I got it on Sephora. I think you probably find it on their website too. But you got 2 liquid highlighters, 2 liquid blushes. Very pretty. I'm still not as savvy with liquid highlights, I feel, as I am with liquid blushes, but they're very pretty colors, and I will keep them in my collection. Liquid blushes, I enjoy them too. I have found most people say, oh, they're very pigmented. They go 1 or 2 drops go a long way. I feel for me, I have the opposite with cream blushes. I feel like, or liquid blushes, I feel like I have to use more with liquid blushes. And that comes up here in another one that I got. Yeah. So I got this liquid blush from Purlisse. And at first I was like, there's hardly any pigment, but I really had to build this up to get it to give me more than just the slightest tint. So I did need to go in with more, I felt like, than I would necessarily like a powder blush. Guys, take a shot every time I say like or please don't do that. So I did like it. I did like the formula. I just feel like I need a little bit more to get the payoff, because when I first applied it with like 2 drops, I was just like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna like it. I think I'm gonna declutter it. I tried it again and just added more product, and I really like the look. So, but still, there's probably quite a bit of product in here. It'll take me a while to finish it, so I'm not necessarily complaining that it takes more, because I have plenty, and for a trial size it'll still last even if I use more. Next up we have this BB cream from Ciate London. I got this in my Ipsy bag. It is too dark for me, but I was like, I want to try it anyway, just kind of see what it feels like, the formula. I will say the color is too dark, but the thing with like a BB cream or a CC cream is it shears out quite a bit, so you have a little leeway as far as color, I feel. So it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be color-wise. It definitely was too dark still. Like, I won't wear it, but it wasn't as obvious as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like crazy bad, but it's kind of like, I thought, okay, if somebody looks at me and they're having a conversation face to face, they're going to be like, what is wrong with her face? But if you're just like passing me on the sidewalk, you're not going to notice. If that makes sense. So, I don't know. I think I might take this to my sister and see if it'll work for her. She's a little, slightly more warm leaning, so it might be okay. Let's just pull. This is this Sydney Grace. There's this, what is it? Loose pigment. It's pretty. It's so big. I'm never going to use all that. I think I'm going to declutter it. I feel like I have colors like this, and it wasn't my favorite formula as far as like the payoff and everything. It wasn't bad. I don't really have any huge complaints. It's just not really for me. So I think I will declutter that one. Next up, this should have been in last month, and I don't remember if it was, because it was on my desk and sometimes I forget if I'm using it. This is a Juvia's Place blush. It was okay. I wasn't in love with it. I think I'm trying to do those like awesome deep shades, and sometimes I think it's just hard to work with my skin tone. So I'm on the fence on this one. I think I want to give it a couple more tries before I decide for sure. Next up, we got a long-lasting liquid lipstick in Canyon from Ofra. This is good. I liked it. I didn't mind the color. It was a little more muted, so I thought it was going to be a little bright, but it really isn't. I don't know why I thought it would be kind of dark. Not bright, darker than how it came off, but I liked wearing it. All right, next up we have this Beauty Creations color-based primer in black. This creased so bad, even like, excuse me, after application, even within a few minutes of just it drying down, it creased. I kind of had to like shear it out. And when you do that, you kind of lose the purpose, because you want that black base to bring out the colors. It did still make a difference putting on eyeshadow after it, but it creased with, I mean, not even a couple hours. So I just don't think this works well on somebody with my kind of eyelids. I have hooded eyes. They're kind of wrinkly, got fine lines. This may work better for somebody who doesn't have those kind of problems, but it's just definitely not gonna work for me. So that's going to be decluttered. We have this So Rich highlighter that we got in Ice Cream Beauty a couple months ago. I just hadn't used it yet. It was pretty. I don't know if it's anything that I don't already have, but it's not bad. Next up, we got this gloss from Shayna B. Miami. I really enjoyed it. It was really nice. A nice little tinted color, not sticky. Nice. I like a light formula. I like it to be pretty thin. And then we have this Illuminati gloss. So I use this in a Get Ready With Me when I used all the products that I got in the Ice Cream Beauty box. And I don't know if, because I was so distracted with like doing my makeup and talking to you guys, I didn't notice burning when I first applied it. I took it to work with me that night to reapply, and I'm like, why are my lips burning? Did this happen before? I thought maybe like my lips were super chapped and that's what's causing it, but no, it seems like that it's happening to everybody. I didn't notice it the first time I put it on. So, and I do think some people say it didn't do anything, like make their make their lips like a pinker color. I think it gave me a little bit of color, but it's not worth the burning. I'm not a Bernie lip girl, so this is going to go in the declutter pile. Next up, we have another Purlisse, but this is a BB highlighter, like a glow highlighter. So I saw somebody else get this in their Ipsy, and they said it had a weird smell and it was really runny. And I hadn't got my Ipsy yet, but I knew I was getting this because I think I picked it. And I was so disappointed because I was like, oh no, I got it. It wasn't liquidy. It didn't smell bad. It still doesn't smell bad. It still smells fine. But it has gotten really liquidy, and I have tried like mixing it up, and I've tried squeezing the liquid out, so I'm hoping I got like the liquidy part out. But as you can see, like I had to get rid of a lot of product because it was so liquidy. So yeah, that was really weird. I wore it probably 2 or 3 times, probably even more, like 3 or 4 times, not a problem, and then it came really liquidy. So we'll see. If it keeps being liquidy, I'll just get rid of it, but I will give it another shot before making a final determination. Next up, we got this Delancey liquid blush. I really like this. It was a really pretty color. It blended out really nicely. It had good staying power. It's an Autumn Aftermoon. There's 3 O's. All right. Next up, we have this Hollow Cosmetics Single Shadow that we got in Pandora's Box of Indie Obsessions. This didn't do anything for me. It just didn't really add anything. So I'm going to declutter that. Next up, we got this liquid highlighter from LA Colors. I found it at Dollar Tree. It's pretty, but it doesn't give off the color that it has in the tube for me. And it's pretty subtle. I like a little bit more. And so I'm going to declutter this. It wasn't bad. I don't care for the color it turned out to be and the luminosity. I want something a little bit more. Next up, we have from Pat McGrath Labs this liquid lipstick. I enjoyed it. It was nice. It wasn't too drying. It is a bit of a darker color, so it's a little different for me, but I still liked it. Happy to have it. Next up, we have from Ofra. This is a gloss. This is nice. I'm actually wearing it over my crazy pink lipstick. I will say it feels a little bit thicker than the other glosses I've tried. I don't know if it's a different formula or something. So I found that if I just pay attention and don't put a lot, kind of scrape off the doe foot, it's not as bad, but it does seem a little bit thicker. Next up kind of goes with that liquid highlight. This is LA Colors Too Cheeky, but this is a blush. I really like this. It had a beautiful color. It blended out really nicely. It had good staying power. So if you see these in Dollar Tree, I would definitely pick them up. The blush is really nice. They had different colors too. This is the only one I got. If the next time I go, if they have more, I might pick them up. All right, next up, we have this Ofra Blush Lighter in Cherish. The first time I wore it, I put it over a blush, and I didn't feel like it added anything, because it looks like it's going to be like a blush topper, like it's sparkly. The second time I tried it, I just wore it alone, and that's what I'm wearing today. I don't feel like it has that shine. It's still pretty. Like, I like it. I just don't feel like it really gave off that shine that I thought it was. Of like a blush topper or a blush lighter. So I will wear it as a blush, just not necessarily as a highlight. Next up, we have these 2 cream blushes from Colored Rain that came in that bundle. Both were nice. I wouldn't say it's my favorite formula of cream blush, but they were nice and I did enjoy wearing them. We got this tiny IBY. I don't know. This is supposed to be a It's supposed to be an eyeshadow, but I wore it as a highlighter. A pretty gold color. So I'm going to keep that for the time being. I probably have this color a million times over, but next up we have a LA Girl Shockwave Neon Lip Liner. It is an orange. I got it for orange lipstick. It works well. I do enjoy their liners. Next up we have this Wet n Wild. It's this like very pink or purple. It looks purple, but it showed up very pink on me. Oh, I didn't know. So it looks like there's like a chunk out of the side. It was a little too much for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that. Plus, it looks like somebody ate it. I don't know what that was. All right, we got 2 more lipsticks. We got one from Colored Rain. Once again, came in that bundle. It was okay. It was a little bit patchy on me. I noticed if I kind of blended it out with my finger, it worked better. I'll keep it for the time being, just kind of play with it a little bit. And then next up we have this Melt one that's very, very nude, but it's kind of a little bit orange leaning. And I used it and then I put something on top of it and actually turned out really well. It doesn't always work really well when I try to mix a lot of lip stuff. I feel like it just kind of makes my lips feel gunky and it doesn't always melt together. But this worked well with, I don't remember what I put it with. And actually I liked what came of it. I enjoy the formula. That's it. Some makeup for October. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my thoughts and what I had to say about these products. If you enjoy my videos, please like, comment, subscribe, send your friends. We have lots of fun here and I really appreciate your time and I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you guys later. Bye.